Breaking news, the search is on for a pursuit suspect in Sunland, Tahunga. Let's go right up to Stu Mundell live in Sky 2. Stu.
That's right, Pat. It was a pursuit. We have some tape from earlier on, and now it's actually a suspect search. The car was made its way on Kyle Street out here in the Sunland, Tahunga area, right before Plainview, where it's just kind of stopped. The guy got out and ran. Now, LAPD, they were technically in tracking mode. The ground units got there very quickly. Helicopter overhead. The last place they saw this guy was running between these homes right here off of Kyle. Now, residents in the neighborhood have been making a lot of calls to 911. Some of them may be the officers from LAPD doing the search. Other ones may be legitimate tips. Right now, though, that suspect's still outstanding. They know canine are on the way, and a perimeter has been set up. Live in Sky 2 over the Sunland Tahunga area, I'm Stu Mundell. Pat, back to you.
All right, Stu, thanks for that.
Why was this individual attacking me?
Tonight, a search for a slasher who lured a woman to the restroom, then attacked her. The vicious attack happened inside a mobile gas station convenience store in Carson. And Tom Wade is live. He spoke to the mom about her terrifying experience. Tom.
Well, Pat, as we just heard from her just a second ago, she was absolutely devastated by what happened. Can't make sense of any of this. It all unfolded in that mobile mart that you see there on your screen, and the guy who did it is still out there. Security camera video shows a mobile gas station clerk walking from the register toward a bathroom. She's going to help the man in the red shirt who says the toilet isn't working. He is about to ambush her.
He had already closed the door and struck me.
The victim is 53-year-old Darlisha Dondrade, a mother of 6. Surrounded by her family tonight, she spoke with us from San Diego. You can see the bandage on her face. That's where she was slashed.
I just started screaming, why? Why are you hitting me? I just didn't understand why. So I was racing, trying to figure out what did I do wrong.
The man would take off. Darlisha was in shock and realized she was badly wounded.
He tapped me several times on my side. I was just, I guess, so in shock that I didn't understand why. So I then realized I'm going to be passing out soon because I bled out in the bathroom.
The attacker would run out of the store and into this car. He drove off and is still on the loose. Darlisha was able to call her daughter and 911. Now she is trying to cope with this traumatizing ordeal.
I just don't understand why someone could walk into an establishment and just decide to provoke a horrific accident on someone else's life.
And Darlisha says the hardest part about all of this is she used to love to come to work because she loves her customers, and now she's scared. Reporting live in Carson, I'm Tom Wade. Pat, back to you.
Oh, thank you, Tom. Well, tonight, relatives of a 10-year-old boy who LA County sheriffs say was abused to death are calling for change. 32-year-old Kareem Leyva was arrested for the death of Anthony Avalos today. Leyva is the live-in boyfriend of Anthony's mother, Heather Barron. Barron has not been arrested, but the boy's relatives say they pleaded to get the child away from his mother over and over.
I don't know what they got to do with the social workers, but they really do got to investigate them. They need to change something. Something needs to be done.
The Department of Children and Family Services confirmed they received 12 calls regarding Anthony over 3 years, but no calls in the last 2 years. A 17-year-old is safe tonight thanks to a good Samaritan. A man tried to kidnap the teen near Pierce College, and when a woman driving by saw what was happening, she had to do something. CBS 2's Nicole Comstock is live in Woodland Hills with that story. Nicole.
Yeah, Pat, police tell us that suspect grabbed the 17-year-old girl from behind when she was just walking to school out here in this neighborhood earlier this morning. And tonight, that Good Samaritan tells us why, even before she saw that happening, she made a U-turn on this street and asked that girl if she needed help. A woman was on her way to work Wednesday morning, driving along Winnetka Avenue in Woodland Hills, when her gut instinct guided her to turn around and check on a young girl she glimpsed walking swiftly away from an adult man.
I rolled down my window. I asked her, "Do you know him? Are you okay?" And she said no.
She spoke with us anonymously over the phone just hours later because her family is scared. scared of what the man she says she caught on camera running away might be capable of. Now that the LAPD says they arrested 24-year-old Jacob Marshall for attempting to kidnap that 17-year-old girl.
It just disgusted me when she's like, I don't know who he is, and he followed me off of the bus.
The woman says the man grabbed the girl from behind and they started to struggle. But when she told the girl to get in her car, the man took off, running into this residential neighborhood.
If I leave the area, then he gets away with it.
When she locked eyes with the girl in tears, she says she couldn't let him get away with it. She followed after him and waited there on Oxnard Street until police arrived and arrested him.
I can't imagine, had I not been there, I mean, she would have, I have lots of words. I'm glad I was there at that split moment that I was passing by.
And police tell us they have no evidence as of this point suggesting that there are other victims in this case. Live in Woodland Hills tonight, Nicole Comstock, CBS 2 News.
All right, thanks for that. Good Samaritan. Well, the new LAPD chief, Michael Moore, helped kick off Summer Night Lights tonight in Boyle Heights. It's the 10th anniversary of the program, which keeps recreation centers and parks open until 11 p.m. on many summer nights. It's aimed at giving kids a safe and positive place to hang out during the summer.
This is my first day. Boyle Heights was the first opportunity I had to go out and reinforce the importance of what it means to be in our community, to be part of our community, and I look forward to continuing that each day.
The LA Chargers were also there tonight. Summer Night Lights goes through August 24th. And today, city leaders held a retirement party for Chief Charlie Beck at the LA Police Academy in Elysian Park. Beck officially retired today on his 65th birthday. It was a day of fanfare and cruising off into the sunset in his GTO. And he gave his last sit-down interview as police chief to me. He opened up about his more than 4-decade career with the LAPD. Is there anything you feel that was left undone?
There's so much that's left undone. You know, I wish first of all, I don't think any chief will ever leave this job saying I got it all done.
Beck says he's going to spend a lot of time traveling and riding his motorcycle. Well, there is new reaction from President Trump tonight as a major shift could be coming to the U.S. Supreme Court. And CBS 2's Suzanne Marquez is here with the latest on this. Suzanne.
Yeah, lots of changes could be happening, Pat. That's true. Justice Anthony Kennedy, one of the longest serving justices in history, has announced his retirement ahead of his 82nd birthday. That gives President Trump the chance to nominate a second justice to the Supreme Court.
President Trump rallied supporters in North Dakota late tonight, with his search for a new Supreme Court justice already underway.
We have to pick a great one. We have to pick one that's going to be there for 40 years, 45 years.
That process began immediately after the president received a letter from Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy earlier in the day, informing him of his decision to retire next month.
He felt confident in me to make the right choice and carry on his great legacy.
Nominated by President Ronald Reagan in 1987, Kennedy forged a reputation as a moderate conservative. He held the key swing vote in many 5-4 rulings, siding with liberals in legalizing gay marriage and refusing to overturn Roe v. Wade.
The cases swing, I don't.
And this is already shaping up to be a battle over the future of abortion rights.
Democrats want judges who will rewrite the Constitution any way they want to do it.
Democrats are bracing for a fight.
I want to get a judge that makes decisions based on the law and not on ideology.
Republicans say they'd like to have a new justice in place before midterm elections, but Democrats may try to push that back after those elections, hoping it could bring out more liberal voters. The Senate must confirm Supreme Court nominations, and California's 2 senators, both Democrats, say that should happen after this November's midterm elections so that voters get a say first.
President Trump says he's currently vetting a list of 25 possible nominees. He says he began compiling that list during the 2016 presidential campaign. Pat, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Suzanne. Now developing news from Beijing involving this former college football star. The Chinese court has sentenced Wendell Brown to 4 years in prison. The former Ball State player was accused of punching another man in a bar fight in 2016. Brown was in China teaching football to students. His mother has been urging President Trump to help bring him home. Investigators say the man accused of murdering a Long Beach fire captain tried to blow up his neighbor first. Prosecutors say 77-year-old Thomas Kim was angry with the woman who lived above him. They say Monday morning he set off an explosion in his apartment with the intent to kill her and himself. Police say Kim opened fire on Captain David Rosa when he responded to Monday's explosion, but they do not believe Kim intended to ambush first responders. Kim is charged with Rosa's murder. A parasailing adventure takes a devastating turn. A Southern California woman is suddenly thrown into storm winds. That's ahead. Plus this.
Where city leaders no longer allowed homeless people to sleep in public spaces like on benches. That story coming up in a live report.
Hi, everybody. I'm Garth Kemp. Getting ready for the 4th of July. Will the weather cooperate? We'll have the forecast. It's on the way.
And here's a look at the guests tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.